Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitaBugHandmades.com, and thank you so much for joining me today for another Stampin' Up! Tutorial. Today's project features the Lots of Love stamp set from our annual catalog. I really love this set. You've got some great sentiments as well as some really fun images that you can layer together, and for today's project we're using this really cute flower image, the leaves, and then also this large sending lots of love sentiment. I absolutely love this sentiment. Such a great bold font, and this is a red unmounted red rubber stamp set that I have here. I believe this set also comes in wood mount. So today's project is one of my favorite projects to share each month when I share my customer thank you card and gift slash treat. So every month I create a customer thank you card that I send out to everyone who shopped with me the previous month. So this is my July customer thank you card, as well as I'll show you the gifts that I created. So here is the card that everyone who shopped with me in July will be receiving. I am mailing these out this weekend. I really love this card. I love the colors. So you've got powder pink, tranquil tide, and pool party. It's just very soft and sweet, and then with the whisper white, it's just a very clean looking card. I absolutely love how these turned out, and we're going to be doing some embossing, which is something that I don't do very often, but I really love how it looks on this card. And then here are my customer thank you gifts for the month of July as well. So in addition to receiving the handmade card, everyone who shopped with me in the month of July will also receive a little treat in the mail with the card. So one of the treats looks like this. So this is for anyone who placed an order with me, no matter what size the order. You'll receive this little envelope pouch that I have decorated with some designer series paper, and then I've also stamped for you and just popped that on the front with a dimensional. I love how these turned out. And so inside of these little pouches, I left one open, there is a little clear bag with some of our metallic sequin assortment inside of there. I love these sequins. They are so pretty. Let me see if I can show you. So here's what those sequins look like. They are beautiful. So hopefully you can see that really well in the camera. They are so pretty. So everyone who receives one of these little envelopes will receive a sampling of the metallic sequin assortment inside of their little envelope. And then for orders of $75 or more during the month of July, using the host code, you'll receive this kind of oversized match book little gift here, and when you open that up, there is a full-size package of the metallic sequin assortment inside. So those are the July customer thank you gifts. I just love doing this each month. It's a lot of fun to come up with what treat to send and come up with fun ways, you know, to package them up and just make them thoughtful, because I am so thankful for those who do shop with me, no matter what size your order, you guys. I just appreciate all of your support. It means so much to me. So this is one small way that I can give back to you. All right, so let's get started with the card. So, oh, and I will also include over on my blog post for today, which is linked just below the video in the description notes, I'll include the measurements for how I made this little matchbox. It really is super, super easy. So I'll include that in case you're interested in this. All right, so I've got a piece of powder pink cardstock here. This is cut at 2 inches by 5 inches, and we are going to do some embossing. So I'm gonna bring in just some computer paper here. I've got my little embossing buddy. This is just a powder tool to help take the static off so that you don't get embossing powder where you don't want it. Then I've got my stamp ready to go, the Sending Lots of Love, and it needs to be cleaned. All right, so I've got my Stampin' Mist here, and I'm just going to spray this. I did so much embossing. The stamp is really gross. Just scrub this off. All right, now that my stamp's clean, I'm just going to take my Versamark ink pad and bring it to my stamp, since this stamp is larger than my ink pad. And I'll just stamp that off to the right about there should be good. Okay, perfect, and you can kind of see that Versamark ink on there. So now I've got some of our white embossing powder. I'm just going to pour that right over the sentiment, and it's going to stick to wherever that Versamark ink is. So just give it a flick. And if you get any in places that you didn't want it, you can just kind of get in there and rub it off. And if you have a little paintbrush, you can use that also. Just add a little more here. All right, so now I'm gonna bring in my Stampin' Up! Heat tool, and I'm gonna put it on the second setting and heat set this. If you have your volume full blast, you may wanna turn it down a little bit because this is gonna be kind of loud. All right, and so now you can see, hopefully you can see that that this is embossed, heat embossed, and we've got this nice little shiny appearance to it. So fun. I don't do this often, but I really love how it turns out. Okay, so next I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock. This is cut down to 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and we're gonna do some stamping on this piece. So I'm going to start by bringing in my Pool Party ink pad, and we're going to use that to stamp the flower image that I showed you. So I'm just going to ink that up and stamp it once here towards the top, ink it up, and then I'm going to, I rotated it around and I'm going to stamp it down here at the bottom, and then, oh, right about there as well. Okay, that looks good. All right, so now I've got my Tranquil Tide, and we are going to, I'm gonna rotate this around because I think I'm needing to re-ink this. We're gonna stamp the little flower image. So I'm just going to ink this up. And be careful if you get ink on that edge because that can get on your project. That happened to me a few times. So be careful. Let's see. I think I wanna stamp it right there. Okay. And do it. I'm going to stamp this image 3 times. Okay. And then once more over here. Okay, that looks good. All right, so you can see that finished stamping up close. Again, Pool Party and Tranquil Tide is also a great combination, just like Soft Sky. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of Fast Fuse here, and I've got a piece of one of our delicate doilies that I cut down to a 1/4, and I'm just going to adhere that piece of doily right about there. Now I've got my triple banner punch, and I'm just going to bring in my sentiment and banner that end. Okay, I've got some dimensionals. I'm going to add dimensionals to the back of my little banner. Add the banner on, off to the right, right about there. And then now you've got those leaves and those flowers peeking out, so pretty. Now I've got some of our Pool Party Baker's Twine. This started as a full roll. I had to make 34 of these cards, and this is what I'm down to. So this shows you just how much Baker's Twine you really get on these rolls. I mean, I got 34 cards out of this. That's a pretty great value to me. I've never used an entire roll of Baker's Twine before on one project, but I was happy to see how far the twine was able to go. So that's pretty cool. All right, so I just put some Fast Fuse here on the back. I'm gonna wrap that twine right around the front beneath that sentiment and on top of the doily. So just like that. Okay. And then I'm gonna just cut a little bit off so that I can tie a bow. This is my favorite way to tie bows with baker's twine because it can be kind of difficult to get baker's twine to go into a bow. So if you just cut off another piece and wrap it around and tie it on, it looks like one continuous piece, you can't even tell, and it makes it much easier to work with the baker's twine. There you go. You'll get a perfect bow each time. Okay, and I'll just trim that off. Okay, and for this layer, I'm gonna flip it over and also add dimensionals to the back. And we'll add this layer to the front of the card. And for the card base, I've got a piece of Whisper White thick cardstock cut down to 5.5 by 8.5, and I have scored it at 4 1/4. And I'm just going to fold that over and crease it with my bone folder. And there you go. That finishes up the card. I absolutely love how this card turned out. What do you guys think? I love it. All right, so there you have it, my July customer thank you cards as well as the gift. I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial. And again, thank you so very much for all of those who shopped with me during the month of July. I truly appreciate all of your support. Those of you that watch me on YouTube, thank you for your support as well. I appreciate you watching and all of your lovely and kind comments. It means so much to me. So thank you guys again. If you'd like to purchase any of the supplies that you saw me use today, you can head on over to my online store. I've got a direct link to my online Stampin' Up! Store just below the video. And then also over on today's coordinating blog post, I've got all of the measurements and all of the supplies that I used for today. So thanks again for joining me, and I'll be back with you guys again soon. Bye now.